Hey guys, what is going on? Now, as promised, this is my question and answer video, which I mentioned in my last video. And I asked a few guys to write in with any of your questions that you had for me and to throw them my way. So a lot of you guys have done that, so thank you for that. I actually received a lot more questions than I expected to. So I will be making 2 videos. So if you don't hear your question mentioned in this video, don't worry. Still chance it will be mentioned in the second one. And if you haven't had a chance to ask me a question yet, feel free to leave them in the comments below. So this is a pretty relaxed video. I'm just going to have a little drink with me now. As you can see, I'm playing a squad deathmatch on Operation Metro, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. So getting into the questions. Now, to begin with, one of the first questions I got was from someone called Fraustro151, who's actually a friend of mine on PSM. And he asks a very strange question, actually. I've cut some of this down. What is my height, my weight, and my age was actually his question, along with the size of my pancreas, which is something I couldn't actually answer. But my height, my weight, and my age, well, I'm actually 6'1". I weigh 11 stone, and my age is 21 years of age. Not very exciting answers, I'm afraid, but the answer to your question nonetheless. And another question regarding myself was somebody called DreamCrusher112. And they asked, whereabouts in the UK am I from? Well, I'm originally from near a town called Nottingham. For any of you guys who aren't from the UK, that's where Robin Hood is from. And now I live near Liverpool, so that's why I have a kind of strange accent, because I've moved around the UK a little bit. So I hope that answers your question, DreamCrusher112. Now, this next question comes from Western C24, and he asks, what do you use to record? Now, this is a question I get asked quite a lot, which is the reason I have actually put the information for this up in my channel information, along with my PC stats and all that. So if you have any questions about that, they are up on my channel page. But I'll quickly answer it anyway. For PlayStation, I use a HD PVR, or a Hapag HD PVR. I think it's how it's pronounced. And on PC, I use Fraps, which is a program you can download, and you buy and you download. And it screen records, so you can capture your PC gameplay, and that's what I'm using on this footage right here. So I hope that answers your question, Western C24. Now the next question is 2 questions actually from 2 different guys, and I feel that answering one question almost answers the other. So I'm going to answer these 2 questions at the same time. One of them is from MC Shine05, I think it is, and he asks, how hard is the transition from PlayStation to PC? And Mr. Stickmaster96 asks, what's the difference between PC and PS3? Well, the difference between PC and PS3 also answers, as I said, how hard is it to transition between the two. Now, the main differences I discovered when I started playing PC is obviously the reaction speeds using the keyboard and mouse. It's a lot faster paced. People are much more quicker to react, and you can spin around much quicker, and the aim is much quicker because you're using the keyboard and mouse. So that's one of the hardest things to get used to at first, I found. Also, the maps are much bigger on PC. You can have 64-man players, 48-man players, 32-man players. I don't normally play 64-man, which I've explained in the past in my last video. I normally stick to 32 and 48, but that alone is still much more than 24, which is what PS3 can handle. So there's another large difference as well. Also, you can, as you can see here, I have my field of view now completely spectrum about all the way out, so I have a much wider field of view, so it gives you a chance to react quicker and see people at a wider angle. So that's something you can't really do on PlayStation, so that's a key difference there. So I hope that answers those 2 questions. But interesting, I do want to add, going from PS3 to PC is very hard, but once you got used to it, I actually find it's harder to go back to PS3 afterwards. I've played over 170 hours on PS3 and only 35 on PC now, but I already find it very difficult to go back to PS3 because using the analog sticks and with a bit of the input lag, which even with the input lag turned off, there is still some some sway issues. I still find it very hard to go back to PS3 after playing PC. So the transition, I would say, is harder the opposite way around. But I hope that answered your question there, guys. Now, Coupe94 asks, have you ever played or owned a COD game? Now, I no longer play COD at all, but COD 4 was probably my very first online game that I took very seriously. That I think I racked over 300 hours on it. Before that, I had played a lot of games like Black Hawk Down on PC, and I probably maybe only played 2 or 3 hours online on that when I was very young. But my first real online game was Call of Duty 4, and that was a great game. It still is a very great game. It's just a real shame that Call of Duty have gone downhill since then. But since Bad Company 2, I have changed over to Battlefield, and I no longer play Call of Duty games, and you won't catch me playing Call of Duty games again. They have really gone downhill, in my opinion, so I hope that answers your question. Now, Riyadh asks, what made you want to start YouTube, and why did you pick the name The Three Musketeers? Well, the name The Three Musketeers is an account name, as you can see from my homepage. I've had for 6 years now, since I think the year YouTube opened, actually. And it was when I was about 15, 16, and I was doing some media videos. Me and 2 other friends were doing short videos, and we wanted to put those up on YouTube, so we came up with the title of 3 Musketeers, intending to put these videos of the 3 of us up on this YouTube channel, and it never came to fruition. We never actually used the channel, so it sat vacant for about 5 years. Never used it at all for uploading it anyway, just for to log in when I answering comments and liking videos and stuff. But I never used it to upload my own gameplay, own videos even. So that's where the name The Three Musketeers came from. So and I thought it was, when I started my Battlefield channel, I thought it was quite a relevant name. It's quite cool, the idea of being a musketeer, being a gunner. So that's the reason I picked that name and stuck with it. And the reason I started YouTube is I have a real like for making videos. Like I said, I've done it for a long time. Done short videos with short movies with my friends. So I like editing videos down, and also I don't think I'm too bad at gaming. Some people may say otherwise. So I thought, why not do some gaming videos and get a chance to make more friends online and on Battlefield and become part of the community. And I was influenced a lot by big guys like Postar and all those kind of people. I was influenced to give it a try and try myself. So that's why I started YouTube, and I recommend it to anyone who has the chance. It's a real good experience. Now the final question is from the Real Guitar Eater, and he asks, what were your first games? Now I've touched on this in the past. My very first game was when I was about 8 years old. My parents for Christmas bought me a Nintendo 64, and my very first own personal game was GoldenEye, 007 GoldenEye, which was one of the very first-person shooters ever, and it was a great game. Still is a very, very great game. It's one of the classics, and that was the very first game I ever had. So I feel that I've been on first-person shooters since a very early age, nearly 12, 13 years now. So that was one of my first games. But my first experience with games was on a friend's console. He had a PlayStation before I had any console, and it was games like Spyro the Dragon, and Tomb Raider, some very, and Crash Bandicoot, some very, very early PS1 games. That's all I've got time for in this video, I'm afraid. So thank you for sending your questions. As I've said, if you have any more, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll answer as many as possible. In the meantime, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.
My dick cost a late night fee. Yo dick got the HIV. My dick plays on the double feature screen. Yo dick went straight to DVD.
My dick bigger than a bridge. Yo dick look like a little kid's. My dick large like the Chargers. The whole team. Yo shit.